Today, I'm going to show you exactly how I managed to take 5 holidays a year without fucking up my business in the process. Now, I get it, you're probably sat there thinking, who the fuck is this geezer to tell me what to do when it comes to running my business or going on holiday? Now listen, I don't want to roll out the whole red carpet for myself, but in short, I've been there, I've done that, and I've got the t-shirt, sometimes good and sometimes bad if we're honest. I built a 6-figure coaching business from my fucking laptop before guys like me existed to tell us how to do it. And in doing so, I learned the hard way in many areas, including working like a twat when it came to going on holiday. Let's just be real. Most coaches fuck up holidays so badly, and we absolutely both know why. There's no plan, so you end up winging it. You're always on call, so your phone is on the dinner table buzzing. No wonder they're pissed off. And then you end up having guilt for not replying or an angry partner, and that's not a great trade-off. You also end up cramming 2 weeks of work into one before you go, and the same when you get home. The service quality of your clients drops, leads dry up because you stop posting. You come back stressed, broke, and resentful. And then here's the truth that no one's saying, I suppose. It's not the holiday that pisses your clients off. It's not the holiday that pisses your partner off. It's the drop in the quality of what you're delivering with absolutely no fucking warning. Here's the equation you need, right? It's expectation minus reality equals disappointment. I'll say that again. Expectation minus reality equals disappointment. If you're not setting the expectations of everyone around you before you go, you're teeing up disappointment and you're just asking for churn. Okay, quick story. I found this one out the hard way, being real with you. At one point, Sarah and I took a holiday to Miami. It was for my 30th birthday. And at that stage in the business, I had around 30 clients. I don't know the exact number. Instead of doing what I'm about to suggest you do, I just tried to cram all my check-in responses in from the balcony when Sarah was getting ready at night. Fellas, tell me you don't know what I'm talking about. That 4-hour window when you're sitting there with a beer sweating your tits off as they do their hair and tell you about frizz. Now, okay, I did voice notes rather than video, but it probably still took me 20 minutes per client, which is almost 9 fucking hours. And if you actually look at those numbers, if we have a 7-day holiday, that's 168 hours. That's fucking depressing in its own right. But if we say that I slept, say, 7 hours a night, and we were there for 6 nights, that's 42 hours of sleep. So now we've got 126 hours left awake to enjoy the holiday. As a percentage of those waking 126 hours, I was spending 11% of our holiday doing fucking check-ins. Absolutely brutal, mate. No wonder she was raging. The honest truth, though, is it gets worse. That doesn't take into account any ad hoc messaging or program tweaks or just all the bullshit that comes with running a business that you still need to do. And the actual quality of the service that I was delivering wasn't up to what my clients had come to expect. So they might not have been pissed off, but they were certainly less delighted than they were used to being. Great success. Well done, Matt. Anyway, let me break down how I fixed it so you don't fuck up the way I did. The first thing is all about setting expectations. You're either off and you're clear that you're off to yourself and to everyone else, or you're working, but you need to work smart, and you need to be clear on that too. If you're working smart and you're going to work on holiday, here's the play. You just need to start with a one-liner message before you go to your clients, just to make sure that they're clear. Here's what I suggest you do. Something like, next week I'll be on holiday, so normal check-ins are temporarily replaced with an open office call. I'll explain that in a second. You can drop in whenever you want. You can ask whatever you need. You can chat about whatever you need from me, and you can get the usual check-in clarity. And then you share with them the details of the call, the day, the time, and the link. And then you can just round out with like, any questions, dude, let me know. Now you've sent a message to them. They know. That's it. Like, they are now clear that there's something different next week. So now that you've preset their expectations, they know what's up. So the level of disappointment is way lower. You've showed them that the support won't dry up whilst you're away, which is their major concern because they think about themselves more than they think about you. And it positions you as the organized leader that they expect you to be. Like, you're here to run a fucking business, not some tracksuit wearing idiot hungover as fuck on a balcony in Marbella, even if that is true some of the time, let's be real. Keeping your clients happy is all well and good though, but the thing here is you'll not come back divorced because you can be clear with your partner in advance too about the 1 hour that you need to work. So I'm going to explain how you can do that too. All this is just expectation setting, mate. Like, write that one down. Expectation setting. With the right systems in place, It allows you to manage expectations, which honestly isn't that hard. It allows you to keep everyone involved happy. You, your partner, your clients, everyone. And you still get to enjoy the holiday, which currently isn't happening. So who says you can't have your cake and eat it? Okay, so on to how we actually support our clients when we're away. In the message that we sent, we just promised an open office call, so you can probably guess what the hell we're going to do next. We're going to work out what the fuck that call actually is. And again, you'll be delighted to hear, it's really straightforward. First, you're going to like and subscribe to this channel. Now, being completely open and upfront, that probably isn't going to help you with the open office call, but it will certainly help me justify the thousands of pounds I've spent on camera and equipment to Sarah when I have to tell her how much it all cost. The big question here, though, is how the hell do I keep my clients happy when I'm gone on holiday without working 24/7? Like, that's what we're trying to solve. And it's really easy. You just install what we call the Holiday Help Desk system. Basically, what we're going to do here is temporarily, as we've just said, replace all one-to-one check-ins with a weekly open office call. Now, you can think of that call, it's kind of like a drop-in clinic, except no one has herpes. Well, I don't want to make assumptions, but I'm clean, bro. Here's how that works in practice. I need you to just, before I explain this, just stop overcomplicating this. Chill is super straightforward. You're sat on Zoom with a beer for 60 minutes, and your clients can drop in at any time and they can ask for help, share their wins, or just otherwise touch base. And the impact of this is stupidly simple, but really, really good. It helps keep them accountable. It shows that you give a fuck. It manages expectations. And it cuts your workload from like an open 9 hours, in my case, to a closed 1. That seems like a big win to me. Being real, what I found happened when I actually did this, though, was 70% of my clients didn't even fucking come to the call because they genuinely just didn't feel like they needed it. And then those who did, most of them just jumped on to be like, hey, bro, I hope you're having a great holiday. You earned it. And then they got a beer and sat with me and we had a bit of a banter. It was pretty good, to be honest. Oh, and it's probably worth adding an out-of-office message to your WhatsApp if that's what you use for directing any incoming messages to the call. Because if, like, let's just be straight, like every group of clients has that one space cadet that just misses absolutely fucking everything. So out of office, hey, I'm out of office. We've got this call. It's this time, this place. Here's the link. Right. Now your clients are clear and their expectations are set. The call is organized and you're not coming home single. The next problem that you're going to run into is maintaining a pipeline and driving lead gen when you're working on your tan rather than your business. Now, the brutal but true bottom line here is when all of your content is short form, like if your content stops on Instagram, your leads will dry up in 4 to 6 weeks' time. And the worst part is worse than that. It doesn't feel like it's causing an issue right now when you stop because the leads are still there now from 4 to 6 weeks ago. But the break in the chain of you posting and being front of mind will cause problems down the line. The inactivity will literally fuck you on such a short form platform like Instagram or wherever you're putting your content, assuming it's short form. If you go quiet now, that's a famine later on that you're literally just fucking causing for yourself. I know because I did it. The good news though is that Uncle Matt's got you, bro. You can just copy and paste my schedule into your holiday. I would always stick to a minimum of 2 posts per week while I'm away. Like, just lower your expectations. Expectation management. You don't have to maintain the usual 7 posts that you do when you're at home if that's what you do, but you do need to remain visible and front of mind for your market. Chaz said to me when we were planning this video that he stopped watching this guy that you probably know who he is. He has hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, but he stopped watching his stories, not consciously, but just stopped a while ago. And he never sees any of his content now. So he's just disappeared. That's going to happen to you if you don't stay front of mind. And the worst part is you're just doing it to yourself. So don't be a fucking idiot, mate. Basically, we're looking for the minimum effective dose of content to keep you visible on their feed. The next thing I would do before I go is pre-bank some content. I prioritize social proof when I go away. 2 grid posts, a couple of pre-made stories done before I go so I don't have to worry about it. And I know what you're thinking, but Matt, what is social proof? Well, let me tell you, hombre. Social proof, in my opinion, is the lifeblood of your business. That's what I would tell any coach, and I know the coaches in the OC can tell you that exact sentence. Social proof is the only reason that you're still fucking relevant to your market. Once you've made those posts, then you either use the Instagram scheduling tool, or if you're like me and you want something more visual, check out later.com. Now you can switch off, enjoy the holiday, have none of the guilt that you usually have around content, and know that all the while, whilst you're chilling, you're still getting fresh eyes on your page. That seems like a pretty good deal to me. Now, all of this is well and good, but all we've been speaking about so far is actually on holiday. But unless you've got a fucking teleportation device, the holiday starts with a flight. Let's be real. If you're anything like me, you spend the entire flight one of two ways. A, drinking as many mini gins as is humanly possible, some sort of fucking challenge, or reproving to yourself that you are physically incapable of reading a book, which you always take and never read. So say the average UK holiday destination is what, 3.5 hours, roughly speaking, from the UK to Europe? My guess is you waste all of it. That's 7 hours if you take both flights, just down the fucking drain. I'll leave you with that thought. That's a whole working day. You're just shitting up the wall. What I like to do is edit on the flight whilst I drink those mini gins. Now, honestly, I'm a big fan of editing on flights. I don't have distractions. I know I'm being productive, which makes me feel good. I know I'm not wasting the time. And generally it numbs me from the whole Ryanair airborne zoo experience that's going on around me in the cabin. I also make sure I spend some of the flight talking to Sarah so that I don't get in trouble before the holiday even starts about the content that we're going to try and capture whilst we're away. So we've got a bit of a plan. Honestly, I think this is a fucking life hack, and it took me way longer than it should have to figure it all out, but let me share it with you. If you can include your partner in any aspect of your business, they'll be way more understanding of the time that you choose to spend on work. So we just chat about holiday content ideas in general, and I bang them into Apple Notes. Now, quick story on this one. Let me show you actually. I've got the video here. There you go. So once upon a time, Sarah and I went to Miami. And in Miami, I knew that I had to capture content, but Sarah and I were quite fresh into our relationship. It was my 30th birthday. So she wasn't a coach. She wasn't making content. She had no idea what that was like. So if I told her I was off down the beach or off down to the balcony or the pool with my tripod to film content, she'd probably be like, are you fucking joking, bro? Like, we're on holiday together. So instead of that, I spoke to her about content. We made a bit of a plan and we agreed to make a holiday video for the sake of memories. And I think, like, honestly, I would encourage you to do this. It's good experience in capturing video. It's good experience in learning to edit. And it's something a bit fresh for your page. We edited, and one night, we filmed and edited rather. One night we went to the Timeout Market. There's another actual life hack. If you're on holiday, Google the place you're at and Timeout Market, go there for dinner. It's fucking incredible. If your partner's anything like mine though, Sarah had booked every fucking night in a different fancy restaurant in advance. Now, when we went to Timeout, we figured we could just sit at the table and edit on our phones because we didn't know how to edit on laptops back then. And I was teaching Sarah, and we actually ended up cancelling a bunch of fancy restaurants for the following nights just to go back there because she was loving it, I was loving it, and we were making content. Everyone's happy. So what I'd suggest is if you can get your partner, like I did with Sarah, on board, now content isn't some nasty outside thing that you've got to go and do that steals your time from them because they're not even in it most of the time. Now Sarah's part of the story, part of the process, part of the editing. She felt ownership, she felt enjoyment, and as a result, now I've got a happy wife and a fucking, well, I was going to say a banger video. It's average, right? But anyway, you get the picture. If you go on my profile, go to Instagram, go to my profile and look at the highlights, you'll find most of the holidays we ever went on. I thought they were pretty good at the time. They're pretty shit now, but they're nice memories. And I'm still not divorced. Actually, lastly on this point, it also allows you to capitalize on the aesthetic of being away and capture some content when you're not wearing a fucking tracksuit for once. I know I enjoyed it. I do know how to dress like an adult. The odd holiday photo dump will also crush from an engagement standpoint, so please don't overlook that. If you're a male in a relationship with a female, they already know how to do this. Ask them. Remember, that's what Instagram is built for in its own right. It's for sharing photos, not selling your coaching. That should be a big mindset shift. Oh, and don't forget to get your partner to take a photo of you running the open office call from the balcony. That's great social proof. It shows that you have your shit together, which is probably a good thing. It positions you as a fitness business owner, not a PT fumbling around who abandoned their clients for the week. I think that's super important. And a pro tip on that, think about, am I a PT or a fitness business owner? All right, you've been listening to me ramble on for a while now. I appreciate it, but I want to give you something that you can actually take away and use from this video. Let's talk about money and holidays, because I know if you're anything like me, you're fucking this up badly. I'll give you something so that you can figure out exactly how much time you can afford to take off, which is the big question. This system that I'm going to share with you now will take into account your current financial position, your financial goals, and the holidays that you want to go on. Because to be frank here, in order to take the holidays that you want and to remain profitable at the same time, you need to know your numbers in advance. And very seldom, if ever, have I met a coach that does. You need to make a plan in advance. And I do that using something that we call the money matrix equation. So here's the plug and play system. I have one here just for you, coach. So effectively with this, what we want to do, I'm going to fly through it super quick. You put in this box what you want to earn at the end of this financial quarter. In this box, you put what you're currently earning. So this box is how much do I want to earn per month at the end of the quarter. This box is how much do I currently earn per month. After that, what is the gap? So this one minus this one equals this one. Great. Now you copy the gap into this box, as you can see from this arrow. Once you've got your gap, it says, what is your average selling price? If you sell coaching at X upfront and Y split pay, but you sell more split pays than upfronts, say $199 a month for your split pay, put $199 in here. So now you've got the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and you've got your average selling price. Now, as you can see here, this one divided by this one equals this one. So that's a simple, I don't think I need to explain how to use a calculator. At that point, you've got the number of new clients that you require. Copy this one, as per this arrow, into box 7. Now it says the number of new clients. Now pro tip, round up. So if it says 2.3 clients, unless you serve midgets, you're going to need 3 clients. So 3 clients, and then in here it says the number of weeks, and you'll see at the bottom when you see it on your screen, minus the number of weeks passed in the quarter and also any planned time off. This is where if you plan to take a 2-week holiday and it's the start of the quarter, so there's 12 weeks in a normal quarter, you're planning 2 weeks off. Fast math says 10 weeks. So now you've got how many clients you need to acquire in how many weeks, and that will tell you how many clients you need to acquire per week. So now rather than some big nasty financial goal that is just a fucking hope and a prayer, you've got an actual system that tells you how many you need in what time frame. Let's get back to the video. I know that that was a lot to take in, but when you can see the actual sheet in front of you with real numbers in the boxes, your real numbers in the boxes, you will grasp it. It's actually really simple. I just made it sound a lot more complicated. So what I've done is I've put a download link in the description below. You can grab the exact step-by-step system I use for free. You're welcome. Let's wrap this bitch up. This isn't rocket science. It's just all planning. It's setting expectations. It's installing a simple group call. It's pre-banking your content, getting your partner on board, and planning your numbers. Like, that's all I'm asking you to do. You do the work once, and then you can switch off and you can go and enjoy the holiday that you've worked all fucking year for. Better yet, your clients will respect you more because you were clear with them. And even better yet, you'll actually start running your business like a fucking business owner and not a PT fumbling around on the internet who doesn't really know what they're doing. Now, if you want the Money Matrix template, as I've just said, the link's below. It's totally free from me to you. Go and grab it right now because you will fucking forget later on. Oh, and also, do me a favor, please go and subscribe to the channel if you want more certified bullshit-free systems just like this. I'll continue making them as long as you keep watching them. Now, I've got one more ask of you. Do me a favor, go and book that fucking holiday. You earned it.